Welcome back. Late January, always busy in Catamount country with all the winter teams in action.
Yeah, quite a few Catamount teams have really hit their stride just recently. Let's go around the horn and check in with those squads. The UVM men's hoops team, they're coming off a road loss to UAlbany on Monday that put a halt to their 3-game winning streak to kick off conference play. Vermont opening the calendar year with a dominant win at UNH before finding ways down the stretch to survive against Binghamton and Maine at Patrick Gym. That, of course, before Monday's defeat against the Great Danes. The Cats are one of 5 teams with a single loss in America East play. They're tied for second in the conference right now. They're going to travel to face Lowell tomorrow for an early chance to separate themselves from the Riverhawks in that 4-way tie.
The women's hoops team responded to their lone conference loss at Binghamton up to this point with back-to-back wins, one at Maine and the other over the weekend hosting UAlbany. The Catamounts and Bearcats each 4-1 atop the conference as Vermont prepares for a morning tip in the Catamount Classroom game coming up on Thursday. That will be the second of 3 straight home games after 3 of the Cats' first 4 conference contests came on the road, with that lone home game coming just 48 hours after playing in Arno. And they're looking forward to playing in front of their home crowd a little more often.
Once again, super excited to be at home. We've been away for quite some games now, and just feeding off of that energy the way we know we can.
The men's hockey team has really turned a corner since we turned the calendars to 2026. Vermont 4-1 in that time, including 3 wins over ranked opponents, the most recent of which coming over the weekend in a 4-2 victory at number 11 UConn. Colin Kessler bearing his first and second goals of the season on Saturday, getting that monkey off his back after dishing out 13 assists so far this year. Vermont scored at least 3 goals for the 5th time in their last 6 outings. The Cats have propelled themselves into 7th place for the time being. They are just 2 points removed, though, from 10th in a jam-packed Hockey East. They're going to welcome UMass this weekend, who is one of 3 teams just a single point behind Vermont.
The women's hockey team, yeah, they're also on a roll. The Cats unbeaten in the new year. That is 6 straight contests with 4 wins and a pair of shootout victories. Vermont downed Maine this past weekend with one of those shootout wins and an overtime dub thanks to Ashley Kokovec's game winner on Saturday. The Cats have catapulted right into the mix in the middle of the conference, which is just as crowded as it is on the men's side. Vermont tied with Maine in 7th and just 3 points separated from 5th and 9th place in the league. All in all, they're playing their best hockey of the season right now with 3 straight series against those 5th and 9th place teams on tap.
We've never really let outside opinions deter us, and so now that we're actually seeing those results on the ice and we're kind of showing everyone else in our league, in the country, what we're capable of, it feels really good to know that what we've known all along is finally getting put on display and getting the recognition it deserves.
The ski team wrapped up the Colby Carnival over the weekend, taking a 3rd place finish behind Dartmouth and UNH. Up next, the Alpine teams are going to wrap up the split St. Lawrence Carnival Thursday and Friday over at Whiteface. The Cats in 1st place after the Nordic races earlier this month.
Swimming and diving team returned this past weekend after a lengthy break from team competition for a pair of meets down in Rhode Island and Connecticut. The Catamounts downed URI in a close one on Saturday before falling to UConn on Sunday. They return home this weekend at 1 p.m. when they host Siena for Senior Day.
The indoor track and field team fresh off the Middlebury Classic. They picked up 7 individual victories. Alex Beal continuing her impressive season. The next 2 meets for the Cats will be in Massachusetts.